at you all the way from our dorm rooms to your conference rooms. Sabo, Lee, and Dan Teeman here are two college students who are ready to talk to you guys about business and lifestyle from our personal experiences.
Each week we'll discuss about our lifestyle as college students as well as our tips and strategies starting in the business field. We'll bring on successful entrepreneurs in the millennial generation to share with us their journey and how they got started and where they're at now.
Our goal is to help you students, millennials, and entrepreneurs gain inspirational advice by our spontaneous conversations and meaningful guidance. Let's dive on in.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 56 of Dorm Rooms and Conference Rooms. As always on our Friday specials, we have another special guest on here. But to get us going, Saba, how are you?
How's it going, Dan? I'm super pumped and excited about our guest today. He's going to have a lot of great insights, so let's get started.
Yeah, guys, we have Bobby on. Bobby's a lead videographer and studio owner of two production companies. He's from New York, but recently has lived in Destin, Florida for the past 12 years. And since then, he's been traveling everywhere, and the most recent projects he's working on is out in the Dominican Republic, where right now he's filming a foreign film for the Sundance Film Festival. And that's just a little tidbit about you, Bobby. Just give us more insights to yourself.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate both of you for having me on here. To wrap it up and make it real simple, I just really enjoy storytelling, and I really enjoy learning about people and being able to take something that I kind of grew up doing, which is filming it, and being able to make money and support myself through it has been just a dream come true, that's for sure. So, I think my favorite part of filming is the traveling, is the unknown of what's going to come tomorrow. And I'm dive certified and fly certified. So just kind of being able to take my camera up in the sky or down underwater too is just really cool. And capturing and sharing those photos and videos with everyone else has just been something special for me.
So, Bobby, to get us going here really quick, did you go to college? Like, kind of give us from the beginning to, a little bit where you're at now. Did you go to college for videography, or how'd you get really into it?
Yeah, so that's the funniest part of all this story is, like, I definitely 3 years outside of college now. I definitely am in a completely opposite spot than I thought I was when I graduated high school. So I graduated high school, went to Troy University, got a band scholarship, playing trumpet in the marching band and jazz. And I thought I was going to be a music teacher for the first 2 years of college. Ended up filming here and there on the side, loved doing it. Filmed for the band, filmed small side commercials for my real estate friends, some small local businesses in the area. And didn't really realize that I wanted to do it as a full-time career until I really sat down with a counselor and we started thinking about, okay, if we're doing a music education degree here, what does that look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? And that was really the first time someone ever asked me, what does your future look like? And me really sitting down and trying to visualize what that looked like, how much I love music and I love teaching. I saw myself going to the same middle school, same high school every day, and I'm just too spontaneous, and I really needed a lot different elements in my life if I was going to do something long term. So I went to college for music and ended up leaving after my sophomore year. I had a opportunity arise with Cornerstone Marketing and Advertising down in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Ended up taking the job, which was probably the scariest fork in the road that I can come up with still in my life, because I was going to college, I was doing great, I loved school, but being able to leave and start my dream job 2 years before I even graduated was something that just kind of blew my mind. So, it took me, I don't know, maybe a month to even say yes to the opportunity, and ended up saying yes. I left, and that was just kind of my big leap of faith and my first yes that kind of brought me on this brand new, it's my brand new journey, and that would be the video production life. So I started my adult job with the air quotes up in the air right now, and was doing everything, loved doing it. 6 months in, was loving everything about it. I feel like I was finally knew what I was doing with my life, which was never the case before. I was still always trying to guess what I was going to do, or I was never making a solid choice. But about 6 months in, I really started figuring out that if I was going to leave college and kind of made a promise to myself and said if I was going to leave college, that I was going to continue learning and just keep growing, because I felt like I was still in college, even though I was clearly 3 hours away from my school. I was suit and tie every day, and kind of surrounded myself. Everyone in the company was mid 30s to 40s. So as a 21-year-old in this marketing agency, I definitely still felt like it was in college.
Bobby, when you were in college, when you were a sophomore, what was your mindset like? Like, how did you even take that leap to drop out and take this job?
That's a good one. I would say the mindset when I was in college was, I was just going to keep going, make good grades, and as long as I can make good grades, there would be options, right? And I think when this kind of idea came up, and I went for this internship that then turned into them asking if I wanted to join their team, it was earth-shattering. I definitely thought that I wasn't ready, that I needed more training, I needed to do this, and I told the owner, I was like, I don't think I'm the right person. I don't think I'm ready yet. And she reassured me that she's seen my work. I've been working with her for a little bit, and she's like, no, you're definitely who we're looking for. So for having someone kind of helping me up and sticking their neck out there for me like that, and giving me the confidence at the beginning to really start pushing forward and saying, you know what, no, maybe I am good at this, and maybe I can make money off this, which was a crazy idea too, because I was always the free one, doing side videos, music videos. It was always free and just fun for me at the time. So the mindset really shifted from, this is a hobby that I enjoy doing, to, hey, you know what, this is something I could actually do, excel at, and make a career out of.
So then you had this day job that you were doing for a little bit there. How long did you say how long you worked the day job before you jumped into doing your own thing?
Yeah, so I was under contract for 1 year. It was a salary contract job, so it definitely allowed me to say yes a little bit easier, knowing that I wasn't going to sign up and then 4 or 5 months later be canned. So that was definitely a little reassuring on that end. But yeah, that the whole job experience, and I think what I really took away from having that day job was that idea of I needed to keep growing, I needed to keep learning, and I kind of put the biology books down and the physics books down because I wasn't in college anymore. But I really started like picking up entrepreneurial books, leadership books, videography books, and I really started continuing my education, but in more areas that I was passionate about and really got excited about. And so I just kept going and going. And when that year came up for, am I going to re-sign this salary job, or what's going to happen here? I really felt like I've read so many books at the time, and I really was getting in love with this idea of being my own leader and being my own boss. And I felt like I almost grew out of my dream job, which was being a video producer for a company. And I kind of felt a paradigm shift where I went from I want to be a video producer to I want to be the captain of the ship. I want to be the guy running the vessel here, and really start branching out. And that's when I really took that second leap. And that's where everything crashed, burn, and I got to build myself back up after I took the second leap and became an entrepreneur or a business owner. And when I saw that on my business card, that was just wild for me, seeing my name, video producer, studio owner. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I went from college, was going great, to making making a fork in the road, to leaving and having this job, to a year later, oh, here's another fork in the road. And I'm going to take the not safe way and just jump again, because that's where I felt I needed to be. And while the decision took me a couple of weeks, even for both decisions, I think from the very beginning, I knew what I was going to pick. It was just making sure that everything was set up right, and I knew what was coming next, and I was kind of getting prepared for it. But I can definitely say that each decision, I knew going into it what I was going to do, but it was just kind of reassuring myself and figuring out what I was going to do after.
Hey, so Bobby, when you decided to jump into your leap of faith and do your entrepreneurship and start your own business and all that, I know you said you were doing some things on the side. Did you have that stuff lined up for when you did jump into it, or did you jump into it blind and built everything as you went?
I would say 50-50. I started reading books and started getting more focused kind of in that education that I talked about, in that, okay, what does a owner look like? What do we have to do? What do I need to do? And I quickly realized that if I was going to do this ownership, that video production would only be about 25% of my company, and what I do on a daily basis, from being the accountant to the salesman, networker, to going all the way through and being on social media and keeping up with the website. I quickly realized that it was going to be more than just filming. But at the same time, I wasn't quite sure how many hours that looked like. What did that look like? So it's hard. I tried to prepare as much as I could, but at the same time, there's only so much I knew, and I just had to learn by trial and error. And there's definitely a lot of error in that trial.
So, Bobby, what exactly are you doing right now? Like, what does your daily day look like every single day?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to be like an old record here because I've heard it so many times in different books, but that very beginning, the morning, starting early, I try to get up before the majority of the world does, just because my phone, my emails, notifications aren't going off. And I try to do some kind of reading, some kind of self-improvement, some kind of audiobook, anything to just get me going. And then I look at my calendar and really start figuring out and planning out my day. And I think that's something I've learned over the 2 years of being my business owner is planning, scheduling, and just trying to figure out your day to the best of your ability really helps you with that. I don't have enough time in the day. I definitely did not have enough time in the day for my first year of working. I was going 60 hours a day, but felt like nothing, or 60 hours a week, but felt like nothing was really getting done. But after I sat down, figured out, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I should be doing. And this is what needs to happen eventually. And really started working with my time and isolating my blocks in. And I bought a calendar that goes every 15 minutes. So that's been my secret to keeping my head organized and keeping the stress out, is just blocking everything off and having a time for each thing.
That's something Saba actually and I both do really well, is we block out our days for times to do like really important tasks, get that done. Don't like only focus on a certain thing. Like right now we're blocked out for the next 3 hours just recording podcasts, to be honest. But what is something you would tell some of our younger listeners that are just getting out of college or just starting this entrepreneurship world? What is kind of your advice for them?
Yeah, no doubt. I would say really figure out what you want. When I started the company, I didn't really know where I wanted to go with it. And that kind of led me going down different paths. And I feel like if you don't have an end goal in mind or an end path in mind, you're very susceptible to finding other people who may have very strong will or very strong vision. And you might jump on their vision, not realizing it. And maybe 6 months later, you realize, wow, I put in all this effort and it's not really exactly what I was looking for, or where I wanted to go with my life or my company. So I would say really take your time. If you haven't started the company yet, or if you're in the middle of one, I think other than the logistics of how you're going to pay for it, what you're going to do every day, would really be like, what does this look like a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later? How do you become long-term successful and long-term stable? Is something I found out even 6 months ago. And the only reason I even got to where I am now is because August 28th of 2016, I was in a car crash. Ended up getting hit on the highway and got ejected out of my car. Definitely was not wearing my safety belt. And yeah, shame on me for that. But this car crash, I had a lot going on and I was really stretched thin and I was going in multiple different directions and none of them were really something I sat down with and thought about what that looked like long term. So after the crash, I mean, thank goodness I survived it, because I had the first responders, the police officers, the nurses, the doctors, everyone telling me that I shouldn't be here, which was definitely an eye-opener, because I feel like if there's something I never really thought of, and that was like my own mortality. But on the business aspect of it all, me having to go through 3 months of recovery, it was a hell of an excuse for all my clients and everyone I was working with at the time that I couldn't work for the past 3 months. And so everyone went away and everyone went on with their business. And I was able to really, for the first time in a year and a half after I opened my business, kind of stop and only have to listen to me and think about what I'm doing. And in that rebuilding phase of everything, I really found that what I want to do in my company is really impact other people's businesses when it comes to their growth and success. I do a lot of wedding videography as well. So being able to really talk to the couples and really try to figure out what they're looking for and listening, and being able to reflect everything that they told me into a video that helps them or keeps their experience alive for years to come, has been something that's been really touching. And even years later now, going back and seeing this footage, I see it with a new perspective now. But for that last little like tidbit, I would say really figure out what you're doing. What does that look like? Why do you want it? And what's that first step that's going to take to get in that direction? Really just figuring out what you're trying to do. Because if you're going down the wrong path, you're going to have to stop, back up, and start again anyways. So that's something I had to learn.
That is awesome, Bobby. That's such a great journey that you went through. I mean, I met you back in January or February. I didn't even know that you went through all of that. But kind of closing things off here, where can people find you at if they want to connect further with you, Bobby?
Yeah, for sure. So on the social media, I definitely am strong in Facebook. So if you just go to Land Air Sea Productions, it'll be our page there. If you want to contact me about anything in particular, it's Bobby at landairseaproductions.com. I don't have any books, or I'm not really going down that path yet, so I don't have anything to give away. But I love talking to other people, hearing about their journey. If there's anything that they could do to, if they're trying to do their own videos, anything like that, I'd love to just help in any way, honestly. I don't have too much to offer at the moment, but I definitely have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and use it accordingly.
Guys, go visit Bobby at his websites. And, if you guys want to reach us directly, you can find us at dr2cr.com. Bobby, it was awesome having you on, but Sabo, what are some final words?
Thank you so much, Bobby, for coming on today. Definitely reach out to him, guys. He has a lot of great insight if you want to get into videography. But thank you guys so much for listening today on Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms.
Thanks, Bobby. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you haven't joined our accelerator program yet, you can find that at livetogrind.com/college, where we connect you with today's latest influencers and experts in their fields.